outwardly they may be seen differently. They might be seen into three different types, but it's not. They are interlinked. Until unless we know the knowledge of something, how can we be devoted to it? And without devotion, I don't think we can come into action. Now, just for an example, if we want to drive a car, first we will have to have a knowledge of driving. We will have to go to a teacher to learn driving. That is yoga of knowledge. And then once we have learned the art of driving, you will have to put it into practice. That is devotion. If you have not practiced it, and you just take the car outside, on the very first day, you might meet an accident. But then, if you have put it into practice, what you have learned, then definitely your action will be beautiful. It will be beautified. So, I don't consider them as different, but it is just to make us understand that first you should know, and knowing is the yoga of knowledge. For that, Lord says that know that I am in everything. I am in the sun, I am in the moon, I am shining in everything. In Gita he says, Yada Dityagaram Tejo Jagat Bhasyate Khilam Yat Chandramasi Yat Chagnau Tat Tejo Vidimam Kam. The light that you are seeing in the sun, that is me. The light that you are seeing in the moon, that's also me. And the light that you see in the fire, that is also me. That is, first he says, know myself. Until unless you know me, how can you be devoted to me? He goes further to explain. Gama Vishyacha Bhutani Dharyam Hamojasha Pushnami Chausdi Sarva Somo Bhutva Rasatmaka. He says that I enter into the world. Now if we go to the Sankhya Yoga, Sankhya says that 24 elements sprang out of him. But those elements could not do anything until unless he entered into it. Therefore, the Upanishads say that he is present in every participle. He is present in everything in this world. Isa vasabidam sarvam yat kincha jagatyam jagat. There is no place where he is not. He is present everywhere. There is nothing in whom he is not present. He is present in me, he is present in you, he is present in Swamiji, he is present in Sadhviji, he is present in Gurmukh ji, Gurushabd ji, in everyone he is present. Therefore he says, I enter into the earth. I have entered into the earth, and whatever you are seeing on the earth, it is me who is bearing it. Had I not been in it, the earth could not bear you. The earth could not withstand the weight that, so many creatures are there, so many mountains are there, so many rivers are there. So how could she bear it? If she is bearing it, it's because of me, because I have entered into it. And I enter into the moon also. And the moon, which gives us the, according to Swamiji, it's love, the ras, the nectar. And because of that nectar, all the food participles, all the medicinal things, whatever vegetation you see on this earth, if it has got the medicinal value, or if it has got the food value, it's again because of me. And one who realizes it, while taking it in, he should realize that it's me who has become the fire in every creature. It's me who has become fire in every creature to digest whatever he is taking. So the food he is taking is also me, and the action through which he is taking, that is also me, and the digestive system is also me. And because of that digestion, the circulation of blood comes, that is also me. That means every action that is taking place, that is also me. He says, Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Praninam Demashita Pranapan Samayukta Pachame Annam Chaturvidam. That is, whatever action is taking place on this earth, that is also me. That is, the action is also me, the knowledge also is me, and the devotion is also me. A very good thing was said by Mahaprabhu Vallabhacharya. Mahaprabhu Vallabhacharya said, one cannot even chant the name of the Lord. He was again a devotee of Lord Krishna as our Swamiji, Vallabhacharyaji. He says that even if someone wants to chant the name of the Lord, he cannot until and unless it is the Lord himself who incarnates on his tongue in form of the name and forces him to chant the name. That means the name also is he, the action of chanting is also he, and the force behind chanting is also he. The name is he, the action of chanting is he, and the force that is letting him chant is also he. That is, in short, without him, nothing can be done, nothing can exist, and nothing can be done. He is the center point of everything on this earth. So, to sum up, what is yoga? To realize him is yoga. Swami Prabhupada ji, I think Swamiji belongs to that sect. In his book, The Science of Self-Realization, Swami Prabhupada's book is there, Science of Self-Realization. So to define yoga in short is the science of self-realization is yoga. That you may attain through the path of knowledge. You might attain it through the path of devotion, or you can attain it through the path of action. Knowledge is that he is the center point of the whole universe. It is him round which the whole universe revolves. Just as the science today says, our earth is revolving round the sun. And this solar system of 9 planets which are revolving around the sun, that is again revolving around someone else, and then that also is revolving. So ultimately the whole universe revolves around one, and that one is he. You may call him God, you may call him Christ, you may call him Krishna, you may call him Ram, you may call him Shiv, you may call him in any name that you want, that is your heart desires. I was lecturing in Bareilly, a town in Uttar Pradesh. A student who was taking her master's in physics, she wanted to meet me after my lecture. I said, yes, you come to my room and meet me. And she asked me a question. Swamiji, is there any God? Instead of replying to her question, I put a question to her, is there any energy? And she said, yes. And I said, define. And she defined it as E is equal to mc square. And I said, elaborate it. And she said, cosmic energy remains the same. I said, wonderful. Thing is, there is the difference in the naming words. A science student calls the same thing as energy, and I call it as God. But there is no difference. There is no difference. According to our philosophy, we have worshipped energy also as Shakti. In Hindu philosophy, we have worshipped as Shakti. Now Swamiji was talking about Radha. Radha is the same Shakti. And without that Shakti, according to their philosophy, Krishna derives all the energy through Radha. In the same way, Shaivs say that all the energy that Shiv gets is through Shakti. Vishnu gets the Shakti through Lakshmi. Brahma gets the Shakti through Saraswati. So, energy and he, they cannot be separated. They are one. They are one. In our philosophy, we call it Ardhanarishwar. That means the female quality as well as the male quality, both are present in him. That's our philosophy. So once you know this philosophy, then be devoted to it. This is the knowledge part. This is the knowledge part of the yoga. And once this knowledge part has come, you will have to be devoted to it. And then what is devotion? I'll just sum up devotion in one sentence. Absolute devotion to the cause one serves without any thought of personal reward or appreciation. I might be appreciated. I might not be appreciated. I might be rewarded. I might not be rewarded. Of course, rewards come. Appreciations come when I fully devote myself to the cause that I'm serving. So when I'm serving God, when I'm serving Him, I should be completely devoted. According to technical word, it is parabhakti. It's parabhakti. What is parabhakti? Absolute devotion. Unconditional surrender unto Him is parabhakti. Mayye veman adhasva, may buddhim niveshaya, nivshishyasi mayyeva at urdhvam na shanshaya. In 12th chapter of Gita, which is called the Yoga of Devotion, Lord says that, Arjun, surrender your mind unto me. Surrender your mind unto me and merge your intellect into me. That is, no questioning. No questioning on me. You should unconditional surrender. If you surrender conditionally, it is not surrender. Surrender is unconditional. So the unconditional surrender unto me and merge your intellect into me. Unconditional surrender and merging your intellect into Him. When you have surrendered to Him, why should you use your intellect? You should merge your intellect into Him. And if you have merged your intellect into Him, then He says that you will find an abode in me. That means there will be no difference between you and me. You will be me and I shall be you. There will be no difference left. You will be me and I'll be you. We have got a philosophy of Vedanta. And what does Vedanta say? Vedanta says, first know Him. That is Tat. Tat means He. Know Him first. Until we have not known Him, then nothing will happen. First know Him. And when you have known Him, know yourself. First know Him and then know yourself. And then know that His self and yourself are not two one. Now let me just go to the life of Christ once. Christ, during the initial stage of His preachings, He said, I'm messenger of God. That is Dvaitavad. Messenger is someone else and He is someone else. I have come with a message of Him. That's duality. Duality exists. And then, after the realization increased, He said, I'm Son of God. So when he said Son of God, it came to Vishishtadvaitavad of India. That is, difference has been limited. The Son and Father, I think very little difference is there. Even in worldly affair, am I different from my father? No. Because I am that seed. So, there will be no difference between me and him. I'll just give you an example of a tree. The seed has the complete tree in it. In the same way, I was present in the Jivanu, or the sperm of my father. It is just manifestation. It's not transformation. It is not transmigration. But it is manifestation. I manifested in this body from that seed. Just as a tree manifests itself from the seed, I manifested from the sperm of my father. So how much difference is there? Little difference. So it is said, Vishishtadvaitvad. But when Christ was on the cross, and he did his last prayers, at that time he said, my Father and myself are one. My Father and myself are one. That means he realized that he whom we are seeking, and you, that is, you yourself. Now, no differences between them. Oneness has been established. So, ultimately, through devotion, we come to that part, and when we understand it, whatever actions we do on this earth, those actions are always beautiful. Those actions are always towards him, because we are born on this earth as men. The best spice of creation on this earth. No one can, no creation on this earth can be compared with man. Man is the best spice of creation. And he is created for only one thing, to realize him, to realize self. The science of self-realization is yoga. So, we should all inspire each other, and we should inspire ourselves also to realize what we are, because it is only in human body we can know the truth. In any other body, it's, I'll not say impossible, but it is very, very difficult. But as human, we have been gifted with the power of discrimination, which the other spices of creation do not have. Therefore, we can easily realize, and if we can realize that, the goal of our life can be achieved. What is the goal of our life? Asato ma satgamaya. Lead us from untruthfulness to truthfulness. From darkness to light. And from mortality to immortality. An English poet, John Donne, He was metaphysical. Physical thing, we are talking about the physics, that is physics. And metaphysical, beyond physical existence. So he was a metaphysical poet. He wrote a ode, Death Be Not Proud. And his last lines are very beautiful. He says, what you are. He asked Death a question. What you are. A short sleep past and we wake eternally. A short sleep past and we wake eternally. So, to wake in eternity is the goal of our life. Even one who has not realized him will die. Who has realized him will also die, but there will be difference. One who will die without knowing him, it will be a mortal death only. But one who will die knowing him, he will rise himself into mortality. I was reading a book, The Science of Death, by a Christian lady, Mary T, something like that. You don't know? If I have got, I'll give you. I have got the science of death. She says, life after death. In life after death, I was fascinated by the heading of the book, and I went through the book, a very wonderful book. And in that also, she says, it is just crossing the borders. Just as you came to India, so you need an Indian visa to enter India. In the same way, to enter into the kingdom of God, you need a visa. And that visa is spirituality. And that, according to us, is yoga. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Pujya Sri Shankaracharyaji Maharaj. One of my favorite teachings of Hanumanji is when Lord Ram asks him, who are you? And he says, when I forget myself, I love you. When I remember myself, I am you. And that teaching that we are the divine. And when we wake up and when we remember and cross that border with our visa of yoga in hand, that we are just remembering the truth that already exists. It's not that we're becoming something new, developing into something new, but simply that we are remembering who we already are. So thank you so much for catalyzing the remembrance in all of us. This afternoon, we have had a slight logistic swap. Most of you have probably already heard the announcement, but just on the off chance that some of you may not have, our official inauguration with the Honorable Chief Minister, the highest level leader of our state, is actually taking place at exactly 3 o'clock, not at 4:30, on our Aarti Ghat. The classes that were scheduled from 3 to 4 will actually be from 4:30 to 5:30. So by 3 o'clock, we'll all join here. And then as the inauguration concludes at 4, we'll go into the classes from 4:30 to 5:30 prior to the Ganga Aarti. So the classes from 1:45 to 2:45 are as per scheduled. And then when they conclude at 2:45, we'll all come together here for the official inauguration. Have a beautiful lunch, or as we say, prasad, that nourishment which is blessed and is a blessing to those who partake of it, and makes you then a blessing through the prasad to all. Lastly, our Pujya Radhanath Swamiji has some beautiful books of his in the back of the tent that are available, and I've been informed that he would be happy to stay back and to sign some books for those who would like their book personally signed by him. Again, thank you so much to Pujya Sri Shankaracharyaji Maharaj, Pujya Radhanath Swamiji Maharaj, for this beautiful, love-filled and light-filled morning.